Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's Rick and Lisa from The Right Life.
Hey, and on this week's video, we're going to open up the Right Life mailbag. You've got mail. And answer some of your frequently asked questions about our Airstream, our lifestyle, and kind of maybe what's in the future for us as well. So stay tuned. So guys, like we said in the intro, we're gonna try to do a Q&A type video this week. This is the first time we've ever done one of these. And we get a lot of questions on our YouTube channel, as well as just fellow Airstreamers that we run across when we're out on the road. And we wanted just to kind of answer some of the questions that we get on a pretty regular basis and share some of those with you. Now, this isn't an all-inclusive list of questions by any means. And if you have questions that you would like us to answer in the future, you can leave those in the comment section below, and we'll answer those directly back to you. But it may also allow us then to also do another future mailbag video in the future as well. So kind of with that said, we're going to roll off into the first question we got here, and we got our iPad with all of our questions on here to kind of keep us on track. And this first one, I'm going to let Lisa ask this question. And
we get asked this all the time. Why did you decide to start a YouTube channel?
I'll answer that one first. So when I was getting ready to retire and we were getting ready to start traveling, I was kind of looking for what's going to be my purpose and what is going to be kind of my hobbies. And I've always enjoyed photography. I've always enjoyed doing those types of creative things. And I always wanted to learn how to make videos. So the reason why we started the channel, first and foremost, was just to document our travels, to share our experiences with our family and friends. But, you know, over the year, I guess we've had the channel now for a year.
Yeah. It's
really kind of taken off. It's kind of blown up much more than we ever expected. And I think we've got over 1,500 subscribers now following along, and it's really kind of picked up a momentum of its own. So, you know, again, not only did we want to just document our own travels and share that with our families and friends, but we also have decided we want to share our experiences, our lessons learned, both good and bad, with the viewers out there, because we remember when we were getting ready to get started traveling, we had a lot of questions.
We did.
We didn't know a whole lot, and we still are learning. We're always asking questions of fellow Airstreamers that have been doing this for years, and we're learning a lot. But we're using this channel as an outlet for us to share those experiences and then connect with fellow Airstreamers and other like-minded travelers as well. So that's really the reason why we started that channel. So let me move on to the second question that we've been asked, and I've read this on Airstream Addicts on Facebook a lot. People are asking, you know, so what are your favorite YouTube channels for Airstreamers to watch? And at least I'll let you answer this one.
Well, my favorite channels is KYD. That was one of our first ones that we ever started watching. And then Wander Local, Love Subbin.
Yep.
Yeah. Zephyr Travels, a little bit Unhitched, 13 Adventures. Are some of our favorite ones that we watch.
Yeah, so if you're watching our channel, most likely you're familiar with definitely KYD and Wander Local, and probably even Love Subbin. You know, those are some of the bigger channels that have been around quite a bit longer than us as well. Some of the smaller channels like us, you know, we learn a lot from them, and we've had a great opportunity to meet with Diane and Randy from Zephyr Travels. We had opportunity to meet with Rich and Cindy from Love Subbin, and here just recently we met with Sam and Lauren from A Little Bit Unhitched. You know, so it's just, we just enjoy watching their channels, learning from their experiences and everything else. So, you know, I would encourage you, you know, if you're watching this video, check out those other channels too, because you're going to learn a lot, you know, from watching a variety of different YouTube channels, and I would just encourage you to do that as well.
And if you have some favorites that we have not listed, let us know, and so we can check them out, because we're always interested in other channels that we would be interested, you know, that we would find interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So this next question, so Lisa, I think you're supposed to ask this question.
We're soon to be retired, and they're going back and forth, whether they want to be full-time or part-time or most time, and they wanted to know, about how we felt about that.
Yeah, so I think that it's a pretty lengthy question that they provided, and as we kind of read through it a couple of times, it really comes down to their decision on part-time and full-time travel.
Right.
And I know if you're like us, if you're at that crossroad in your life, you may be wondering, well, hey, is full-time right for me or is part-time right for me? And that's a very personal, individual question that you've got to answer. For us, we decided to go full-timing because we came to a crossroads in our life. I was retiring from the military. Where we were currently stationed at wasn't where we wanted to put down roots and live. And we didn't know where we wanted to live at the time. So we decided we're going to take a year off and just travel full-time throughout the United States and try to find a location where we wanted to retire to and buy us a home base. Now, we actually traveled for more than a year full-time, but during that, it allowed us to really see the United States. It allowed us to learn about RV travel, if is this something that we wanted to do on a long-term basis, as well as it helped us in our personal life of deciding where we wanted to retire to. So again, if you're kind of coming up on that crossroads in your life of whether or not you want a full-time or part-time, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think it's just there's a right answer for you, and you just really have to kind of do some of that research and soul searching and learn from other people's both mistakes and successes, I guess.
And I think also with us, or especially with me, I don't want to give up the lifestyle. I really, really fell in love with it, and that's why we want to do most time travel now.
Yeah. So the next question we got, and this question here comes from a viewer, says, we may have missed it in an earlier video, but what length Airstream do you have? Was it adequate? Do you wish you went bigger or smaller? So Lisa, what do you think?
Well, the length of the Airstream is a 27-foot, and I think it's adequate. We have no issues with privacy, really. We pull the accordion doors if we need to separate, if he's doing something up there, up here, or back there, or whatever. If I want to take a nap and the TV's on.
Yeah, so I would say it's really just kind of your personal preference.
But for us, we've not had any issues.
For us, the 27-foot, and we have the twin bed model, really worked out well for us for our full timing. We thought that it was the right size that would suit our needs. Now, again, it's just Lisa and I. We don't have any kids with us. We don't have any pets.
Right.
So, if you have additional pets or kids, you may need to go up to a 30-foot or even bigger. Or if you don't need as much space, maybe a 25 or 23-foot or something to that effect. But, we did put together a video, and I can provide a link to it either over here or over here, where we kind of help people think through some of that. And it's, how do you decide which is the right Airstream for you? So if you're interested and you're kind of on the fence on what size Airstream is right for you, you check out this other video, and it may help you kind of think through some of that process as well. So moving on to the next question. So this one's for you, Lisa. Said a viewer was congratulating us why we chose South Carolina. So Lisa, I'll let you answer that one.
So why did we choose South Carolina? Our oldest son is stationed in Georgia.
He's military.
He's military also, and he's stationed in Augusta in Georgia. And our youngest son is also military, and he's stationed in North Carolina. And so we thought South Carolina was a good choice.
So when we were looking at states, again, first and foremost, we wanted to be near family. And then second, we also wanted to see which one was going to provide us the quality of life that we were looking for, as well as was going to be financially beneficial for us. So like Lisa said, South Carolina is very tax friendly to military veterans. So that's why it appealed to us. We also like the warmer weather and the location, not only to family, but it allows us 2 hours. We can be at the beach camping, or 2-3 hours we can be in the mountains camping. So we really like the area. The people are great, and that's really the reason why we picked South Carolina when we purchased our home base. So Lisa, this question is for you to ask.
Do you guys still use the default mattress that came with the Airstream?
So I think this question kind of came from one of our previous videos when we installed the Froley sleep system in the Airstream when we were full timing. So to answer this question, yes, we're still using the default mattress, the one that came with the Airstream. But like any mattress, they do have a lifespan, and I think this is a 2017, so we're coming up on 6 years old. It's probably getting close to where we're going to need to replace that mattress, but it's still the default mattress that came with the Airstream.
So the next one is from my brother, and he said, I see Rick still likes his hats. In one of the videos, Rick has his hats hanging, and yes, Rick still likes his hats a lot.
So I'll be the first to admit that I've probably got a slight problem with hats. I collect hats, and when we were full timing, we'd be traveling, and I'd see a hat I liked, I'd buy a hat. And next thing you know, I've got command hooks all over the Airstream, hanging my hats up, and so yeah, that's probably one of my addictions, I guess.
Yes. Now we have them in the house.
Yeah.
So.
But this next question from another viewer said, and this one's for you, Lisa, says, where did you get that Flamingo Airstream hat? I need to get one of those.
Oh,
and that's the hat you got
today. So I got this Flamingo at the National Rally in Maine.
Yep, up in Freiburg, Maine.
I
think one of the vendors were selling it up there. But I think you can, if you go to the Airstream supply store online, I think you can order it there if they've got them in stock. But yeah, Lisa wears hats on occasions, but nothing like I do. So moving on. So
says, I'm looking for a 12-foot telescoping ladder for the Airstream.
Okay, so the one viewer is asking about that, and was asking what type of ladder I use and where I got it from. So it is a 12.5-foot aluminum telescoping ladder I picked up on Amazon. Again, I'll provide a link to that below. But I would tell you that is a critical tool that you need to carry with you, whether you're part-time or full-time traveling, because you never know if you are ever going to need to get on the roof of your Airstream. And without having a telescoping ladder or something, you can't get on your rig if you needed to get up there and do some type of maintenance or repairs or anything like that. I don't remember exactly how much it cost. It was a little over $100, but definitely an investment well worth it. And like I said, I'll put a link in the description below for that. Okay, so moving on. Next question we got, and this was based off of one of our other videos we put together on our favorite Airstream hacks. This one here, they first said, hey, genius tip on using the command hooks for the window shades. And what we did on that one was we just took some of the command hooks, flipped them upside down, and then we could hook our window shades to it to prevent it. Because sometimes you either have to have them all the way open or all the way closed. So they were thanking us for that tip. But the next question they had was for Lisa, and they were asking about the pizza stone that she uses.
Oh, that I use in the oven. It's a 15 by 12 flat Pampered Chef pizza stone, and I put it in the oven, and it distributes the heat. So it helps the oven.
Well, so it's kind of multi-purpose. So when you're using the oven, it distributes the heat. But then if you also need a
pizza stone
or cookie sheet, you can use it for that as well too. So, again, we didn't come up with that idea. Someone else came up with that idea, but they were just asking the size of that and what type we use as well. So hopefully that's beneficial for folks out there.
And then the next one, I have ordered my first Airstream due in September, and I'm curious about the red numbers on the RV. Can you give me some information about that?
Yeah, so that's a common question that we've been asked. We'll be traveling, and I was pumping gas at a gas station. I had a gentleman come up and say, hey, that's a nice Airstream. Those red numbers, is this a rental? And I'm like, no, it's not a rental, because I think he thought that was like a fleet number or something like that for the Airstreams. So it gave me an opportunity to explain to him what the red numbers meant. And if you're not familiar with it, those are your so-called big red numbers that you get whenever you join the Airstream Club International. And sometimes you can pick the numbers if they're available, or if not, you can have them just assign you a random number. But it's just a way of showing fellow Airstreamers that you're a member of the Airstream Club. And it's just part of the history and heritage of the Wally Byam Airstream Club International. So that's, if you're ever wondered what the big red numbers are for, that's what it indicates, is that you're a member of the Airstream Club. So then the follow-on question, and I just read this one online on Airstream Addicts, and we've had this question asked of us as well, and it's, what are the benefits of joining Airstream Club? And Lisa, I'll let you kind of start off answering that one.
Well, right now we're at an Airstream rally, and so the fellowship and the camaraderie is tremendous at Raleigh. It's
a great organization to meet up with fellow Airstreamers, to go camp, and do these local rallies. I mean, when you join the club, you can join also a local Airstream club. So we actually are members of a club here in South Carolina and affiliate members of an additional club. And it allows us then to meet up with folks at rallies, and really, it's just a nice way to meet people and get to know them, as well as you can also attend caravans.
Right.
Yep.
They have courtesy parking.
Yep. If you're not familiar with courtesy parking, so as an Airstream Club member, if another member has a place where you can park, you can reach out to them if you're traveling and say, hey, I need a place to stay overnight. And if they're available, then you can stay there for free. And just a great way to meet other Airstreamers, as well as save a little bit of money in your traveling. But I would also tell you, it's a great source of information.
Yes.
So like Lisa said, we're currently at an Airstream rally here in Lake Greenwood State Park. And this morning we had a rally breakfast. And after the breakfast, some of the other fellow members, they got up and kind of had a, what'd they call it? A maintenance 101 talk, or a Airstream kind of nuts and bolts discussion. And they were talking about 12-volt electrical system.
It's very important to maintain the batteries in your rig, because let's say your camper comes discoupled from your tow vehicle. Those batteries are what's going to engage the brakes.
And there is a wealth of knowledge in a lot of these Airstreamers. So if you're looking just to meet other Airstreamers, learn more about Airstreaming, go on other trips and events, it's a great organization. So if you haven't joined the Airstream Club, would highly recommend that you check it out. I think we've pretty much wrapped up the majority of the frequently asked questions that we get. But I would encourage you, if you have any questions for us, feel free to leave a question in the comment section below. If you see us in a campground, you'll
stop by.
Yeah, stop by, say hi. We'd love to meet you. And if we're ever in your area, and we see another Airstreamer, we'll give you a wave as well. But I think we'll wrap up today's mailbag video, and hopefully we'll see you guys down the road. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave those in the comment section below. If we don't hear from you, hopefully we'll see you down the road.
See you down the road.